What's up, you guys?
What's up, you guys? I'm here with a new video today. I'm here to bring you guys Leo ANAYA's 6th place Lubbock, Texas regional deck profile. As you guys can see, he played Sky Strikers. I'm sorry that this video is taking so long to get up. I've been gone for my birthday weekend, and I'm finally back, so now I'm here to bring you guys some deck profiles as well as some content throughout the week. Shout out to my boy Leo. You guys already know he's a YCS champion. He's topped multiple YCSs. He's won almost 2 YCSs. He came second at one of the YCSs and then won YCS Salt Lake. Again, he's back at it again, you know, this time with Sky Strikers. He's been playing this deck for a while, and being my teammate, he sent out his deck list to me. I'm going to talk about it. I also have the rundown of his matchups and how the deck did. Now, you guys are looking at this, and most of it is standard, but you guys can see a lot of different choices in his main deck selections that made it to where I feel this deck is a really good starting point when addressing the elephant in the room of our format, and that is the Danger Dark World FTK. I feel his hand trap selection was excellent if he were to play against his deck. You guys can see he tailored this deck to beat Goki, but I feel that now with Danger FTK being everywhere, this deck also has a great matchup against that deck as well. So we're going to get into the deck list, and then we're going to go over his matches, and then I'm going to talk about just, I feel, what are some good applications you guys can take away going forward into YCS Pasadena, as well as other YCSs and events that are coming up, especially with an FTK pretty much everywhere. You want to be prepared, and you want to be able to have the best matchup possible, and you don't want to give up on your favorite deck. So those of you that play Sky Strikers, you guys already know being able to, you know, build your deck and tailor it to beat the format is what you need to do to be successful. So anyways, we'll get into the main deck. He played 3 copies of Ray, that's standard. 3 copies of Ash. It's still the best, like, generic hand trap. It just stops so many cards. Really good 1-for-1 trade. He decided to main deck 3 Cherries. Now, this is something we have seen before. Previous striker lists have played Cherries. However, they have played it mostly for Goki and mostly for the mirror match. However, I feel that, you know, while this deck was tailored to beat Goki, it also has really good application against the Danger FTK. We'll talk about that more, but I really like the fact that he decided to main deck Cherries. He plays the 1 Ibli because he is playing the Ibli combo in the deck. You guys already know with the Double Mermaid and the Akashic Magician. Just really, really strong for the deck. And 3 Joel and Lockbird, another not standard hand trap that we see. Joel goes in and out of formats, and I feel that this format, now with the way it's set up, I feel Joel's a really good choice. So he opted not to play cards like Ghost Ogre or Ghost Bell in the main or the side deck. Ogre has kind of fallen out of contention while it is good. There were so many copies of Magical Midbreaker Field running around that Ogre was just kind of dead most of the time. And not only that, it didn't have good application against Thunder Dragon. It didn't have great application against too many cards. Like in the mirror, yes, you can hit multi-roll, but you always want to be able to get more value out of your cards. So I feel he made some really, really good choices in the hand trap lineup for this deck. Onto the spells, the 1 Rhoda, 3 copies of Desires, 2 copies of Foolish Burial Goods, 3 copies of Engage, the 1 Upstart. This man is nuts, 44 cards still playing Upstart. However, Sky Strikers is a deck that the more spells you can play that, you know, thin your deck, you know, your deck already thins through all the engages, all the searches and everything. Upstart is just an additional spell that will get your 3 spell requirement into the graveyard to get all of the bonus effects of your Sky Striker cards. So even though in theory it seems insane, I can see the application of playing Upstart in a 44 card deck. Metal Foes Fusion, pretty much the same thing. 2 copies of Terraforming, 1 copy of Afterburners. He decided to main deck triple MST. If you guys notice, he's not playing Jamming Waves. It's become a popular trend. You don't really see a lot of striker lists playing Jamming Waves anymore. MST is really cool, though, because it has versatility against a lot of different cards, not only Floodgates, but it's just good against, you know, multi-rolls, stuff like that. So being able to use this card is really strong. It's also really strong in the main deck instead of Twin Twister because you're not discarding a card. While Twin Twister does get rid of 2 cards, at least with Space Typhoon, you're able to get rid of you're able to do a 1-for-1 exchange, and you don't really lose any card economy, so that's really good. 2 copies of Ego Booster. You guys already know this card is seeing a lot more play. Protects your monsters. That's all you need in order to play. The 1 copy of Shark Cannon, the 1 Drones. He's playing 1 copy of Scapegoat. I found this really interesting because, I mean, Scapegoat just basically turns into whatever you need it to, so pretty strong. It's not something we really see either. You don't really see a lot of Sky Striker lists ever playing Scapegoat, so this was an interesting tech. 3 copies of Widow Anchor, self-explanatory, 2 multi-roll, 3 copies of the Field Spell, and 1 lone copy of Impermanence to round the deck out at 44 cards. On to the extra deck, we've got, of course, the 1 Boral Sword for OTKs, 1 Firewall, it's your main Cherries target, and I mean, if you're, for whatever dumb reason, you could make it off Scapegoat, but we're never going to do that. 1 copy of Phoenix, the 1 copy of Akashic Magician, because we are playing the Ibli and the Double Mermaid. Got the 2 copies of Hayate. I'm assuming he decided to forego the 3rd copy so that he could fit in the Ibli combo or fit in the Cherries target. So, you know, a lot of people say you need 3 Hayate, and I can see where that's true, but I feel that lists were playing 2 copies of it before, so now they're, you know, you could play 2 or 3. It's honestly just up to player preference and if you have the room in your extra deck to support it. 3 copies of Kagari, 3 copies of Shizuku, 2 copies of the Mermaid because of the Ibli combo, and the 1 Link Karibo. On to his side deck. So his side deck played 3 Mind Control. This card is insane. I think this is one of the best side deck cards of the format. Some decks are even going as far to main it. So strong against Thunder Dragon, so strong against the Mirror, so strong against pretty much anything. You just take your opponent's monster, link away with it, do whatever you need to do with it, and I think it's just really cool that Mind Control, you know, is seeing a lot of play in the format. I, of course, having played Mech Knight Invoked, love this card. Just being able to have access to this card I think is great. 3 Shared Ride, self-explanatory. Mirror Match, cards max C. 3 Twin Twister because, you know, Mirror Match, not only Mirror Match, but the applications against Altergeist and True Draco and any back row heavy decks. One thing I'll say is since he was main decking 3 copies of MST, he did have that versatility against Altergeist, which was cool. 3 copies of Evenly because this card is just game half the time, and 3 copies of Different Dimension Ground. A lot of people, you know, are you know, pro or con for this card, but I think this card's really cool because it makes it to where basically you just skip Goki's turn or you skip the turn of any deck that really needs their graveyard, because basically it's like a D barrier that just tells them they can't play. So the card is just nuts. So that's it for the main, the side, the extra. I'm gonna get into Leo's matches real quick because he sent me his little report. So Lubbock, Texas wasn't a huge regional, but round 1 he played against Dark Magician. He ended up winning that 2-1. Second round he played against Thunder Dragon Dinos. So Thunder Dragon Dinos is a deck that, even though it hasn't seen that much popularity yet here in the TCG, it might see more play going forward because it is one of the most popular decks in the OCG, and it's also one of the preferred ways to play the Thunder Dragon deck. He beat that 2-0. Round 3, he got a draw and went 1-1 with Sky Striker Mirror Match. Round 4, he 2-0'd True Draco. Round 5, he 2-0'd Dark Goki. Round 6, he 2-1 against Thunder Dragons. And round 7, he lost to Dark Goki 1-2. He ended up getting 6th place. So he ended up, what was it, 5-1-1, got 6th place. So, you know, shout out to you, bro. You know, great job. Now, what I want you guys to take away from this, and I know what you guys are thinking, you know, I'm so tired of seeing Sky Strikers. Oh, I can't stand it. Slim, why are you posting these videos? Why? Well, the things you guys need to understand is that our format was set in stone, and then an FTK just got plopped on the table that basically said, we can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless we're playing this deck. And even if we're playing that deck, whoever wins a die roll, we're always in die roll formats. You need to have the best possible strategy to take down these decks. The one thing I'll say you can take away from this is that the inclusion of Cherries, the inclusion of Joel and Lockbird is huge. And I say that because while I love Ash Blossom, you know, you do play Ash Blossom, why I loved Ghost Ogre during different formats, why Ghost Bell has started to see a lot of play because its applications against Sky Strikers and Thunder Dragons, you can't deny the fact that with an FTK running around, you need to have an answer, and Cherries is that answer. Cherries takes care of the Firewall. The reason why these FTKs exist is because of Firewall Dragon. We know this. Everyone wants Firewall banned. We know this. We need it banned. We need it eroded. We need it taken care of, because as long as it's in the format, we're going to keep running into these degenerate strategies. Just make it to where you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't even get a turn. You don't even go to your draw phase. Like, the game is literally over on turn 1 if you can't answer it. And it can play through multiple hand traps, you guys. Now, one thing I'll say is it cannot play through Cherries. It cannot play through Joel and Lockbird. It might be able to do some crazy things around Joel and Lockbird, but I know it can't do as much. Not only that, it cannot play around Cherries like I already said. Cherries being able to hit the Firewall is huge. The application of this also applies to Goki. If you're hitting Firewall for the Danger Dark World FTK, you can hit it for Goki. It has like really good synergy like against both of those decks. And let's face it, here in the TCG, Goki is huge. Like, Goki is huge. Leo built this deck to take down Goki, because let's face it, Goki sucks to play against. Gumblar for 4 sucks. You're starting with 2 cards. Being able to eliminate that problem just by hitting the Firewall is huge. The application around that is huge. Now, you guys will be like, all right, well, why CS Legend? There weren't that many Goki. It's because they don't have Summon Sork. Without Summon Sork, Goki doesn't do as much over there. Yes, they can play the Danger FTK without it, but the fact that over here they have Sork, plus that, you definitely need to be getting rid of that Firewall, or you are going to lose. Like, that, it is what it is. So I think that's awesome. Also, the fact that he played Joel and Lockbird, this is another hand trap that is a blanket hand trap. I feel any hand trap that lingers for the entire turn is huge. Being able to droll them, make it to where they can't add cards, you know, except by drawing, like they can't do stuff like that is huge. They won't, you know, being able to, you know, shut down their turn is great. Good against Goki. Applications across the board against everything. Even good in the mirror match. You literally just draw and Lockbird after the engage, or you cherries their Kagari, and you're in a winning position. And I feel that that's what it's going to take to combat this format. We're in an FTK format. We're in a Striker format. We're in a Goki format. For YCS Pasadena, that's what our format is, you guys, and being able to, you know, tailor your deck to take that down is huge. And I think you guys will say, well, this deck's a little weird, you know, he's playing 1 impermanence. Yeah, the problem with impermanence, you guys, is that, like, it's not good against every deck. Having an extra copy gives you, what is that? That gives him 10 hand traps in the main deck. That's a really good number. That's a little, what is it, a little less than a fourth of the deck, because he's playing 44 cards. I'm not good at my math, but you guys already know with all the spells and everything, you're going to be able to get, you know, through all those cards. You're going to be able to see your hand traps. You're going to open with a hand trap more likely than not. And I think that's what's really cool that you can take away from this deck. Extra deck, there's not much to talk about. You know, Firewall is your main target. You can also take Boral Sword. You can take anything really you want out of here. The mirror match, you have Kagari. You don't need to hit Shizuku, but you hit them twice with Kagari Shizuku, they lose. Like, stuff like that. The side deck, I think, is really nice. I really like these side decks that are just 3-ofs because they tailor towards the whole format. Mind Control does so much. I already mentioned it. Shared Ride is your Maxi and the mirror match. Your Twins and your Evenlies and your MSTs make it to where Altergeist and True Draco can't even play. You shut down all their floodgates, you take away all their floodgates, and you play your game. And I feel that that's what you need this format. You need to have aggressive cards in your side deck, you need to have a well-tailored main deck, and you have to go in expecting to play against A, B, and C deck, because that's just how it is. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. I know you guys are probably tired of seeing Sky Strikers, but remember, guys, this is our format, and I wanted to, you know, of course, showcase Leo's performance. I really like his take on the deck. I really like the fact that he was not afraid to go over 40, he was not afraid to play more hand traps, and he was not afraid to play the better hand traps. And I say that now because we know how this format is. You need to have answers to everything, so I think he presented that perfectly here in this list. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.